If you're like most of the people on the planet, you probably saw today's guest up on the silver screen in the big hit adaptation of Les Miserables. Please welcome back to Show People, Mr. Aaron Tveit.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
I'm doing really well.
It seems like you must be doing pretty well.
I'm doing very well, yes. It's been, it just turned 2013, but 2012 was a very crazy year, but a great year.
Okay, so there's this movie, Les Miserables.
Yeah, this little movie.
Little movie. It's enormous.
Yeah.
I actually looked online. It's now made like over $130 million around the world. So are you good at math?
Yeah, ish.
Okay, well I just kind of faked an estimation. This is what I figured out. 16,250,000 people more or less have seen this movie. And that's not counting the freebies, the press people.
Yes,
so
wow.
Let's say, 16.5 million people. Is that like, that's crazy?
I've never even thought of it in those terms until right now. That's insane.
I broke it down for you.
You did a little bit.
Just to terrify you.
Yeah.
Staring up your nostril.
Whew, yeah. Everyone looking at those beautiful curly locks of mine.
Well, we do love the hair. We're going to talk about the hair.
Yeah.
Can't not talk about the hair.
Yeah.
But to put that in perspective, you were in a show called Catch Me If You Can, which I loved, as you know. The last time you were here, you were actually just starting previews.
Yeah, I think we were just starting previews for that last time we were here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love that show. That show ran like a little under 6 months.
Yep.
Should have run 6 years,
Yep.
but I don't run Broadway.
That's right. We just work here.
And I figured out about 250,000 people saw that.
Wow.
So, and 6 months, and then in a Christmas weekend,
it's just
look at that, 16 million people.
That's really incredible.
So I figured out, by my bad math, you are about 24.8 times more famous than you were before Christmas.
Wow, I mean, the math doesn't lie, I guess.
That was a good holiday season.
That was a very good holiday season, yeah.
Did you get any gifts?
I did. I got, what did I do? I got a lamp for my parents that I picked out for my apartment. It was really great. Got some white T-shirts and socks.
Okay. And 24.8 times more famous.
And 24.8 times more famous, I guess, yeah.
Did you go and see the movie, like on Christmas or?
I did, actually. I saw it for the first time right around you did, right around Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving when they started the screenings. And then I went to the premiere in New York. Yeah. And then I snuck out Christmas night and went and saw the show in my hometown, upstate, and
like in the movie theater.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Upstate,
yeah,
where you used to go to the movies.
And I said this to my manager. I said, it's so crazy. I literally just watched this movie in a place where I've seen hundreds of movies in my life, and I used to sit there in the theater and dream of being on screen and dream of what that would be like. And then I was literally sitting there watching myself on screen. It was like.
Is it a sneak-in movie theater where you can go to multiple movies? Did you do that?
It is.
But you paid for Les Mis.
I paid for Les Mis. Okay. Yeah. But no, the movie theater in the Lowe's Metroplex in the Gallery of Crystal Run in Middletown, New York is. You can bop from theater to theater.
There.
Yeah. I mean, not to say that I ever did that, but you can. But pay for your movies.
Pay for Les Mis.
Pay for one and then go see.
And then go see all the rest. Just pay for Les Mis.
Yeah. Some friends of mine were saying that. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a ticket to Django on Christmas Day, but I'm gonna go see Les Mis. I'm like, great, thank you. That's really nice.
So, what did your family think seeing this movie?
I don't think my parents. They knew the story, but I don't think they ever saw the show on Broadway. But knowing the story enough, and they knew what they were getting into in that regard. But I think that. Particularly my death scene, I think they weren't really expecting, which is...
Your death scene is epic.
It's epic and graphic.
It is one of my favorite moments in the movie.
Yeah.
Is it scary to get shot like that? I mean, you have to fall back?
Well, they put squibs on you, which they're literally, I had like a harness, and first of all, I was harnessed in because I had to fall back out the window. Okay. But then they put like a vest on you that has squibs, which are basically, when you see people get shot in the movies, they're things that instead of the bullet going in, it basically explodes out and will go through your clothes. And, so we only had a couple shots because I only had a couple shirts to But these squibs, it actually makes it really easy to react to because they give you a bit of a pop, And actually, I had about 6 or 7 all over my body because, the firing squad style. But one of them, it was kind of right in my lower stomach. I don't know what happened. The squib misfired a little bit. And so it actually, instead of coming out, got blocked against something. I think it got blocked against my belt or my gun belt and went back in. So I had a huge welt on my stomach. So it was a little more method than I like to go sometimes, but it was really, really cool.
So that's why you have such a great death scene.
Yeah.
Because you actually thought
Exactly.
you got shot.
And I got to fall out the window, and there's a scene where Russell is kind of walking through. We called it the killing field scene because it's just bodies and blood laying everywhere. And in the edit of the movie, he literally like walked. I was upside down where he was walking the length of the street, and he came right up and like got really close to my face. And then in the edit of the movie, it got edited out. So I was like, what was with the 2-minute takes I was hanging upside down with all the blood rushing my head for? I was like, thanks. We didn't even use a shot, but that's what happens, I guess.
Maybe it'll be in the 3.5 hour.
Maybe it'll be in the 3.5 hour
yeah.
director's cut or something.
Now you play a character with a name that I think people have probably been mangling when they look at their playbills on Broadway for decades.
Yeah.
His name is, tell me how you say it.
Enjolras.
I've never said it that way. I've definitely never. I've said like Enjolras. So say it again.
Enjolras.
Enjolras.
It's like that French thing. It's like, It's like that French.
Did you take French?
Well, no, I took Spanish, so I was lost over there while we were filming it. But no, actually, Claude Michel's son was with us, who's also one of the producers, and he was kind of our resident French expert. Because if you notice in the movie, it's a weird thing. We speak in British dialects except for when we say French words, and then we say those in French. So like I would say like, Marius, you're no longer a child, but I would say Marius, like, which is this French thing. It was very, very hard. Or Lamac is dead, like this like back and forth. But he actually said that it should be Enjolras, like if it was very French, but it's just Enjolras.
But you have to do that thing with your lip. You should. You did. Your lip goes up.
It's like an Elvis thing. Enjolras.
Enjolras.
He's
Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Enjolras.
That's it. You got
All right.
it.
So everyone say it right.
Enjolras.
Awesome. Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so let's talk about the hair.
Okay.
So did you know you were gonna have fancy hair?
I didn't actually. My hair was very short because I was getting ready to shoot the Graceland pilot. I had rehearsal for the movie in London, and then I was flying right to Los Angeles to shoot Graceland. So I had to have my hair short and kind of very clean cut, FBI-ish. So my hair was very short, and in rehearsal we shot a camera test of the ABC Cafe. Basically, they wanted to see that all the live recording equipment worked with the cameras in the closed space, and they used our song during rehearsal to shoot a test. So we were in kind of suggestions of our clothing, and I had short hair, and what they did was, it was very almost. I don't want to say Roman, but that look that was just kind of short and cropped and greasy, and I thought it worked. I had facial hair, but then from the camera test we learned that. But my big white teeth were not going to fly, and my short hair was not going to fly. So that's what came out of the camera test. They dirtied my teeth every day.
What do they put on it? Gook.
Makeup. Paint, basically.
Oh, how's that taste?
Terrible. And I literally, by the end of it, I was starting to stain my teeth.
Oh.
And I was like, what's happening? So, I went and...
I gotta go be a TV star. I gotta get these teeth
cleaned up. But I didn't realize that my teeth were such an issue until that we did the rehearsal. But yeah, so they dirtied my teeth. And then they said, we want your hair longer, but I couldn't grow it. So they made a wig.
So the first time you put it on, did you name it, the wig? Like Wendy Williams names her wigs?
I never named it. I should have named it. I should have named it.
Come up with a name for it.
Oh, man. Wow. I didn't even think of that.
Did you like ever walk, like, you couldn't like walk around like the streets of London?
No, no. It took about 45 minutes at the beginning of the day to get it on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, as you could probably tell, I have a lot of hair. So they had literally had to like lacquer it down with, what did the woman call it? Gaffquat, which was undiluted hairspray, which I had never heard before. But they literally put that down and then have to put the wig on top of it. But it was really cool because much like the period clothing that we were wearing, I mean, putting those clothes on, it changes your posture and it's very transformative. And the wig in the same way was that way because I'd never seen my hair like that.
Right.
And so I, in the mirror, was seeing a different person immediately. So my eye was getting tricked, and it really helped kind of settle me in every day.
What was really awesome is that you were kind of, I mean, obviously a lot of stars in this movie, a lot of big movie stars, a lot of West End theater actors in it, and you were sort of the Broadway representative, which is awesome.
Yeah, I felt that way when I found out that everyone got cast. I felt that it was really special to kind of be a New York theater actor and getting cast in this movie because it's such a huge part of the Broadway community, and I felt honored to be that way. And I've heard a lot of people say that to me, and it's really meant a lot because I was trying to hold our Broadway New York banner up while I was holding the flag up.
I should acknowledge you're very popular on Broadway.com with these people.
Oh, thanks, guys.
And you won our poll.
I heard about this.
You won 2 polls. Actually, you were out of all the performers, the performance everyone was most excited to see. Here he is.
Oh man.
And favorite character. Favorite character.
That's
Come on,
really
those are some good characters.
I heard that I'd won these 2 polls, and I have to say it really meant so much to me. I had no idea that that people were that supportive, and really it took me back a little bit hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to acknowledge the fact that you are nominated for a Screen Actors Guild Award.
Thank you.
The entire cast,
yes.
Right? Well, the outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture, which is like the big prize at the SAG
think it's
Awards.
a really cool. I think it's a very cool award that they do.
Yeah. It'd be awesome if Broadway had that.
Yeah. So many, movies and shows, and I mean anything. The ensemble really is, what makes a good show. I mean, it's consistent performances throughout. I think. And the same thing with a film. So.
Are you going to get to go to the SAG Awards on January 27th?
I believe so. Yeah, I think I'm going to the SAG Awards
in
LA. Yeah, in LA. I think I'm going to the SAG Awards.
Live on TV.
Live on TV. Yeah.
Is that one of those ones where you sit at the table and drink with your co-stars?
I think so. I think the SAG Awards is one of the ones where you sit and eat instead of sitting in a
that could be fun.
theater. Yeah, could be cool.
Are you excited? I mean,
I'm really excited. Yeah, I mean that stuff is really cool. Just like the opening, or I say the opening night, as we say here in the theater, the premiere.
The premiere, right.
That was really cool too, just to kind of see the support and the kind of the whole scale of it.
Since you're honored with this amazing ensemble, I want to play a little game, and I want to ask you, out of all the people in the ensemble of Les Mis, all these amazing actors you got to work with, you're going to tell me the following. Ready?
Okay.
Which of these people would you most like to have a beer with?
Russell.
Why Russell?
I mean,
it seems kind of obvious, actually. He's
like
a great drinking buddy.
Yeah, he is. He's just a down to earth guy that you just want to go out and have a beer with, and you might end up getting into a bar fight, but I mean, that's fine too, because he'd be there and you'd be all right.
Who would you most like to sing a karaoke duet with?
Probably one of the guys from the West End. Probably Alistair, Killian, or Fra. One of those guys, just because they're hilarious.
Do you have a song maybe you guys could do?
Oh, God, I don't know. Maybe something ridiculous like Almost Paradise from Footloose or something.
Nice.
Something hilarious, just because they're hilarious.
Who would you most like to star in a Broadway show with?
Wow, Hugh Jackman.
That's a good answer, I think.
I
think that's solid.
Somebody make it happen, please. I would love to. I mean, that guy, I can't say enough about Hugh Jackman. I mean, I knew him from New York and meeting him, and I just think what he does in the movie is just a feat that, I mean, it's just an Everest-like feat, and he does it with such ease and his attitude every day. I mean, no one could complain, no one could, cry about anything because how hard he was working and the attitude that he brought every day to work. I mean, it starts at the top as a company leader, and he's like the greatest. And I've seen him on stage in New York, and I would love to share the stage with him in New York.
Maybe Houdini has like a cohort. You could be like Houdini's sidekick.
Maybe, yeah. I could hold the cape, but be the white glove person or something.
That'd be enough for you.
Yeah.
As long as you're with
you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, so which one would you most like to play golf with? Don't you play golf?
I do play golf. I think Eddie and I could go out and have a nice round of golf.
All right. Which one would you most like to have as a guest star on your new TV show, Graceland?
Oh man, maybe Sasha Sacha Baron Cohen. I think he would do something crazy.
What could he play?
He could dress up as a Colombian drug lord, or
all right, there you go.
Anything.
Colombian drug lord.
Yeah.
Who would you like to celebrate your 30th birthday with next year? Next year's your 30th birthday, right?
This year, 2000.
I'm jumping the gun on that one.
2013. Yeah, I'm going to turn 30 this year.
All right, this year.
Yeah, not to the end of the year though, October, guys. But I mean, all of them.
Russell Crowe.
But Russell, yeah. I mean, if there's anything party related, I think Russell's going to be the guy. Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit because I already said I did love Catch Me If You Can, as you know. What the hell happened? Catch Me If You Can. What? Come on, people. What?
I don't
what
know.
Happened?
I think that Catch Me If You Can. It's I think it all depends on timing. Has to do a lot of things in Broadway about how the length of runs of shows.
Yeah.
And I think that Book of Mormon's an amazing show that kind of got you know, it's great and deserved everything that it got. But,
Yeah.
you know, I think we kind of got eaten by the, you know, the wake of that a little bit. And I think that just happens timing-wise. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you know, that I can't tell you how many people have said what you just said. Like, what happened? Why didn't it run long enough? And people loved the show. And just because if critically it wasn't, you know, praised as much as we might have thought. I mean, that cast was amazing, and everyone, we worked on it for so long, and I mean, I wouldn't change anything about that experience. I mean, I loved that show and still love that show. And I think, you know, I do think it'll be one of those shows that 10 years from now people will say, wow, you know, that was really a great show. And for whatever reason, at the time, people didn't acknowledge it, or not acknowledge it, but realize it. And I think it'll be one that you look back on that was, you know, it's like those television shows that, you know, get canceled and then they show them later, like Brilliant but canceled. Like, I feel like Catch Me If You Can was a brilliant but canceled Broadway show.
Everyone will eventually know that you and I are right.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Last time you were here, you talked about sort of the pressure of it, and you really didn't seem to feel, you seemed to just sort of be very easygoing about the fact that you were the star of this big musical. I was lucky enough to be at the final performance, because I was obsessed with Catch Me If You Can, and you had this great moment on stage at the end of the show after you sang Goodbye, your big 11 o'clock number, sang it like to the rafters, amazing. And you kind of like, the audience went crazy and you kind of like broke down on stage.
Yeah, it was...
was that sort of a...
I think it was
it
just...
literally, I almost felt like I saw like the weight of the whole experience.
I think it was an emotional release of a long time, and a lot of hard work and a lot of ups and downs with the show. And then, I mean, and then also the fact that I was kind of gobsmacked by the audience's reaction at that time. I mean, they clapped, you know, and, you know, stood up in the middle of the show after the thing, which, and also it was very strange to sing that song about just kind of the context of the song in the show all of a sudden was the same as me. You know what I mean? As a performer in his own show on stage, it was me in my show on stage singing about how it's the last time I'm going to do this and it's over and it's fine. So it was really like art imitating life, imitating art, completely in the moment. And with the audience reaction that, I mean, and just to say, you know, that it's done and all that, and it was, you know, kind of addressing the fact that it was closing and I wasn't going to get to do it anymore. And it was all those things that just kind of came out in a huge emotional release in front of 2,000 people, but yeah, it was great.
I'm glad I witnessed it. It was actually
it was a very a moment that I'll never forget.
Yeah, a moment I'll never forget either. So let's talk a little bit about Graceland. We're not going to get to see it until what, May?
May, I think the end of May.
Premiering in May.
Yeah.
It's created by Jeff Easton, who created White Collar.
That's right.
Matt Bomer's TV show. So tell me about it.
It's really an interesting show. I think at the outset people may think it's a procedural cop show, but it's really not. It's much more character driven, and I think this is the first time that USA is kind of breaking into long arcs instead of just one episode arcs. We're really doing season long arcs, which also helps because we're playing undercover agents. So you really can't naturally and realistically get undercover with a case in one episode. So they're really giving us time, but. It's, I play this guy, Mike Warren, and I'm fresh out of the FBI Academy. And I kind of, you know, you find out in the first episode that I graduated top of my class and I'm book smart. And I think that I'm going into this, I think that I'm going right into DC, kind of on track for, you know, upper FBI management. And then I get thrown out to this safe house in Southern California with all these other people and other agencies. And then I find out that my training officer, who I think is this legend, as they talk about him in Quantico, is kind of he's kind of changed into a stoner, slacker, hippie kind of guy, and just off the path. And so I kind of have to navigate, and I don't know why I'm out there. And you know, I don't want to give anything away, but at the end of the first episode, there's a big reveal of why I'm out there. And you know, as everything kind of goes, basically, what's really cool about my character is a lot of people say things about me, especially early on in the season, but I don't really say anything about myself. So things are not exactly what they seem, which is always a lot of fun.
That's a good teaser for me.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a good.
It's really good. And
summer show for us to.
It's summer show, and it's also the interesting thing I think is that it's really, it's this dichotomy between this great, funny family relationship, dysfunctional family that we have all these agents living in this safe house. But then it's also a darker show for USA. It's in the sense that it's really realistic, and the situations that we get in undercover are very, very dangerous and very stark and realistic. And so it's kind of this interesting element of this family life at home versus this terrible life outside. And I think that's where, you know, Graceland, it's a kind of a heady thing, but this house is our land of grace. It's the land that we can find comfort and respite from our crazy job.
You're going to be on TV this summer. You have this big movie. How many million people saw it?
You said 20, so I don't even know how many.
A lot
of millions.
So by next week, it'll double.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep growing up.
Yeah.
So any big, nice Hollywood money purchases? Have you bought yourself anything any night? Or has that happened yet? Come on, what's happening?
No, well, not any Hollywood money purchases. I bought an apartment here in New York last year, but that was that was a New York.
So you're not in Queens anymore?
No, I'm in Queens. Yeah.
You're in Queens.
Yeah,
You bought an apartment in Queens.
I bought an apartment in Astoria.
You kicked out the roommate?
No, well, actually, my roommate was when I was going to London, his girlfriend was moving in. So as I moved out, she moved in. So he didn't get put out, and then I bought a place 3 blocks away. So in
nice.
the same neighborhood, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but that was a.
That's very adult. That's good.
That was an 8 years of work, in the theater, that bought that apartment.
So it's not Hollywood money.
No.
I want to ask you about social media. First of all, you're not on social media.
I'm not.
Right. But there is that. Is that Twitter, Aaron Tveit? Is that you?
That is not me. That is not me.
Because there's this random account.
I know.
Aaron_Tveit.
There's been a lot. There's a fake Facebook account currently. There's a fake Twitter account. Now Facebook is really hard. This sounds so ridiculous to talk about. This is not the first time it's happened. It's kind of. I used to be on Facebook years and years ago. I left it. I've never had a Twitter account. I'm not going to have a Twitter account. But it's just they keep popping up. Facebook's really hard. It's such a big machine that they don't do anything when you try to tell them. But Twitter actually they do. It's like very official.
Well, Patty LuPone almost took down that person impersonating her.
Yeah, it's official though. I think that the first time that there was an imposter account on there, I literally had to send them a copy of my birth certificate and a social security number. So they're great about it because they're like, oh, that's you. And then, so they get rid of it. But but no, there's nothing on there. So if you see it, it's not me.
Don't follow that person.
Don't follow them. Don't listen to what they're saying. It's not me. Thank you.
I actually like that you have a little bit of mystery around you. I actually like that you're a little.
I had Facebook in college when it first started, and it was great because it was just my college, and it was a great way to stay in touch with people there. And then it started to expand, and I mean, really, my main reasoning for getting off it years ago was when people on the business side of this, instead of just being friends on Facebook, that there were people that were directors and casting directors and that were all of a sudden were on Facebook and that I was friends with. And I said, wait a minute, these people, I'm supposed to be able to walk into a room and suspend their disbelief. So I don't think they should know anything about me personally or see pictures of me at places. So that was kind of my initial reasoning to do it, that I just thought it'd be good to have separation from it. And Twitter, I don't know what happened when it started. I kind of missed it when it started. And I mean, listen, I think it's really great for people to send information, and it's good for, if you want to use it for any kind of promotional things. But I also, if I was a writer, if I was a political activist, if I was funnier, I think, and if I thought that people wanted to hear what I had to say in 140 characters, maybe. But
you don't want to think about jokes all day.
No, and I don't want to have to try. I don't want to have to try to be witty, and I don't think that I have anything that people need to hear me say. I just don't think I have.
Everyone's shaking their heads. And just
I don't know. Listen, I'm in the minority here with this, but yeah.
Well, there's a lot of buzz about you on Twitter, whether you're on there or not.
Yeah. Well, that's nice to hear.
So finally, I read that you said that you literally have dreams about coming back to Broadway.
Yeah.
Tell me about these dreams. What are these dreams like? What happens in these dreams?
I walk into the rehearsal room at the 42nd Street Studios, and there's a piano and there's a music stand, and the stands are up. And I'm always like the first one in the rehearsal rooms. There's nobody in there, which is normal. So it's not like I'm seeing who I'm working with. But I go sit down and I open. It's a script and it's closed, and I open it and I don't know what it is. It's like blank music pages without notes on them yet.
Do you actually have that dream?
I have actually had that dream.
What floor at 42nd Street?
Like the 6th floors. I think that's where Catch Me If You Can. I've actually rehearsed Rent and Catch Me If You Can in that same rehearsal space, so that's why. But yeah, no,
So there's no title on the front?
There's no title.
Maybe one day you're going to have the dream and the title will appear.
Maybe. There's no title, there's no music in it, and I just really... I can't wait for the day that I get emailed or sent the hard copy of the new score that I have to learn for the next show that I'm doing. I can't wait for that day.
Well, I can't wait to see what title ends up on that page.
Thank you.
And I know you'll be back when that happens.
Absolutely.
And thrilled everything is happening for you, and have fun at the SAG Awards.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on TV.
Yeah.
So
check it out.
everyone, if you
Graceland.
haven't seen Les Mis, although I know you have, just go see it again.
Thank you for going to see it.
Then sneak into Django Unchained, which is a good movie.
Very good too.
And SAG Awards, and we'll see you on USA in May in Graceland.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Aaron.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Take it easy.